Remember the tagline, "Reader beware, you're in for a scare"? Well, this episode takes that tagline because there was really nothing to take. Today we're talking about episode 5 of the new Goosebumps show, Reader Beware. And for those who don't know, the tagline, "Reader Beware, you're in for a scare," it's a fairly old tagline that was originally introduced in the 90s when Goosebumps, was massive. So yeah, they kind of took that title and they kind of used it for this episode because there's no real book tied to this episode. I mean, there's a book, but no book from actual Goosebumps series. Before we get into this, I'm just gonna say it. This is like the most forgettable of the episodes, and this is the one I've watched the least. And to put in perspective, I actually had to go rewatch the first half of this. I already knew the second half a lot better than the first. And for each of these reviews, and probably for the rest, I really didn't have to do that. This was pretty goddamn forgettable. So let's get into this video. And I have a pretty strong feeling this is going to be the least viewed episode review for the series. And probably the entire show if we do get season 2. Ever. So what happens in this episode? Well, we open up with Nora, and she sees Harold Biddle, and she's in the mental institution, so it's gonna make her look pretty crazy. And watching her from a distance is Nathan Bratt after we get an intro cut. Then we see Margot and her father driving home with Lucas in the back seat, because Lucas's mom, she can't really run the gas station, and Lucas doesn't have a mom right now or anybody to stay with besides them. So yeah, he gets to stay with, his crush, as we find out later in the episode. We have a very interesting scene talking about towels. I know, cool. Then Margot's mother finally comes home from Seattle. We have an awkward dinner scene. I mean, extremely awkward. Just very, very fucking awkward. Mostly because, Margot's father and mother have not seen each other for quite a bit, and they're already planning a divorce. She's really here to talk to Margot about the Harold Biddle stuff, or, to actually resolve it. Anyways, the gang's gonna meet up that night. Margot tries to talk to her mom, but it doesn't really work. She's trying to keep silent. She's not really sharing much about who the fuck Harold Biddle is. So yeah, the gang all meets up. Not before we have some interesting scenes. And God bless America, this scene happens. Isaiah broke up with his girlfriend. Now, we never got to see it, which is a bummer, but also good, because I don't want to see her start whining like, "Why you break up with me? I'm the perfect girl." Because she's really a fucking bitch. So thank the Lord that he broke up with that fucking, I don't even want to say her name, but, bitch. And also, Isaiah has a crush on Margot. He tells us all to James, right as Isabella walks in. Interesting, I don't know. Isabella walks in pizza and she's mad about how Margot wasn't here. Revealing that Margot wasn't here. No, really? Margot and Lucas are walking to James's house, where Lucas revealed they took the long way, and, okay, so bear with me here, they make out. So, quick recap if y'all need one. Margot's father and Lucas's mom are banging. Man, it's minor spoilers, but it's gonna go a step further. Meaning that, if there's a season 2, this shit's about to get incest. But you don't have to worry about that, of course, because obviously that's not gonna happen. The show's not gonna delve into that, but momentarily, this is going to be a fucking really nasty show if that relationship continues, which I don't spoil future stuff coming in later episodes. But yeah, when I saw that, I immediately went, what the actual fuck were the writers thinking? That's not gonna work. It's gonna get full on Alabama over here. Anyways, everybody's at James's house and they'll discuss shit, and it really goes nowhere. It seriously goes fucking nowhere. They all go to school the next day, which is very interesting because Margot is confronted by Nathan Bratt with a notebook, or the scrapbook as they call it, with drawings from Harold Biddle. And we saw this thing in episode 1. I think that's the last time we saw it. And yeah, it has drawings, it has pictures of his friends, which were their parents, which is very suspicious. Margot opens it up, thanks Nathan Bratt, I guess, and she goes into some sort of trance and she sees the past. It basically reveals that Margot's mom was friends with Harold Biddle. Margot takes this to the next page, which is the dark room. So she goes to the dark room at the school, or what used to be the dark room. She sees Harold and her mom developing pictures, talking about the other parents and relationships. Will they like Harold? Yada yada. Then Isaiah is having a minor argument with Lucas because, you know, they both like Margot. Only for Margot to walk out and be like, hey guys, I have a very big discovery. It's insane. So peculiar. They bring Margot to the auditorium and she's looking at another scene where she can't really escape because Harold is there. And he realizes, hey, Margot, you fucking... follow me, I'm gonna take you to my house and we're gonna... That sounded really sus. And I'm gonna show you what really happens and why I died, how I died, and where I died, when I... It's pretty fucking stupid. Meanwhile, Margot's mom goes to visit Nora at the mental institution and she gives Nora some good advice. That she's fucking crazy a little bit. She should stop acting crazy, I'm sorry, and stop taking the pills. She also tells the lady who is actually Isabella's mom, she's the one who runs the mental institution, to stop being a fucking bitch. We also get Margot's dad revealing that he's cheating. Thank fucking God. We got finally just moving past, you know, the stupid plot points that were inevitably gonna happen. That plot line is really weird. The kids see the scrapbook flipping through pages, and it lands on the Harold Biddle house page. So, they kind of wheelbarrow over Margot to the Harold Biddle house, and yeah, Margot's kind of there now, and she kind of sees something right as everybody else jumps in the scrapbook, you know, by looking at the page. Oh, I'm in a trance now. Oh my God. Ah! And they see their parents kill Harold Biddle. Kinda. And they're just totally shocked by it, you know, taken off guard, completely by surprise. And then, you know, they exit the trance. It's, you know, they saw what Harold Biddle wanted them to see. And then they're all just like, what? Still confused. And then Nathan Bratt, who is home, walks out of his house. He's like, you want to see what's in the case? Because during this, you know, the scene where they killed Harold Biddle in the house, the parents ran out carrying a case. So he's like, what do you want to see what's in the case? I'll show you. And that's where the episode ends. And I'm just gonna point it out, that is the worst fucking spot to end this, because this was the first 5 episodes, and this was the last episode of the first batch. We had to wait a week to find out what was in it. That is some fucking bullshit. There's no gag to end this part, so I'll just make one up on the spot. Sweet liberty. So what did I think of this episode? Well, it was mid as shit. Okay? There is nothing memorable about this episode. It basically is the bridge episode. Everybody refers to this episode, maybe episode 7, but episode 7 is more of a filler episode. So episode 8, kinda. It's more of just ending it so it can continue on to final 2 episodes. But, like, minor spoilers, I guess, for the formatting. It's just like this episode was heavily bridge focused. It was fucking moving on plot lines, like finally get some great reveals between characters that we've known. We finally got those interactions like, okay, where's our first love plot going with the teenager? We know there's going to be a love plot going on, and we got for our first one, Lucas x Margot, and we also got finally the interaction that we wanted. Margot's father revealing that he's cheating to his soon-to-be-divorced wife that they were already discussing about, and Nora is going to get out of the mental institution very, very soon. It just drags the plot along the whole episode, and though it is enjoyable, I know Bjorn does like this episode a lot. He always brings this up when he's talking about the good episodes. I think this episode is just fairly mid, okay? There was basically nothing great or bad about it. Nothing that really stood out besides the scrapbook. That was really cool, and anything involving Harold Biddle was neat. There's another really big positive I can point out, though, and it's that Lucas's personality once again shines. Beautiful character, beautiful writing, but well written, my guy. I like the scenes with Isabella. That were pretty damn good. I liked all the jokes in this episode too. They all were okay, actually. They weren't that bad. You know, this episode was just fairly mid. Like I said, there wasn't really anything that stood out. There was not even a real monster tied to this. But yeah, the scrapbook was, like, the only thing that I really, like, shown in this episode. Like, it shined, it was pretty nice, and Lucas obviously being the star of the show. Yes. Forget Slappy, it's Lucas. It's the Lucas show, guys. Yeah, there's really nothing to say about this episode. It's just moving the plot along. Really nothing goosebumpy about it, which is probably the main issue that a lot of people have. And I don't necessarily hate it because of that. It's just so mid. There's nothing great. There's nothing terrible. It's just so, whatever. It's just a whatever episode. I'm gonna give this episode a 5 out of 10. Literally, like, straight up mid. That is right above bad, but right below good. It is, like, both bad and good, but not great or terrible either. It's just right fucking there. In the middle of the show. As funny as that is, too. So those are my thoughts on this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I already know it's going to be the least viewed video on my entire channel. And yeah, I have nothing else to say. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Fuck you.